Guys, I wanted to just take a minute and show you how to use a chess clock. I didn't find any videos that I loved on YouTube, so just wanted to explain that real quick with the tournament coming up. So there are two different kinds of clocks. There's an analog clock, which has a round face like a regular traditional clock with a minute hand and an hour hand. And then there's a digital clock like the one that I have that we've used in Chess Club a little bit here. And the way a clock works is essentially what you're going to do is after you make a move, you push your clock. What that does is that stops the time from running on your clock and it starts it on your opponent's. So in a standard scholastic tournament, they're usually game in 30. That means each person has 30 minutes to make all of their moves. So once my opponent makes their move, they're going to push their clock. That stops their time and starts my time. And then you've got time to think. So 30 minutes is more than enough time for all of you guys to play your games. So don't let it cause you to feel rushed or anything like that. And just be ready and prepared to use one, because that can be an advantage to you. So the way a clock works is, once your time's expired, as long as you have winning material, which can be a pawn, on the board, then you win as long as you say, oh, your flag's fallen, your time's up. You let them know at that point you've won the game. If you are down to just a king, you can still, if their flag falls, you still get a stalemate out of it, which is not a bad thing. So with an analog clock, once that minute hand gets up to the 12, that flag falls. You have to look at it and notice that it's fallen. With a digital clock, a lot of times they'll take the beepers off, but you still have this blinking red light. See, my flag just fell here. I set it to a 1 minute timer so we could just see what it's like when it falls. Also, if you have a question from a tournament director, or if there's an issue with your board, you want to pause your clock so your time doesn't continue to run. With a digital clock, there's a pause button. You can slide it over. Or with an analog clock as well as a digital clock, you can just push both buttons just as they are now. Instead of, so one's down and one's running, you just push them there so they're kind of in the middle, and that'll pause it as well. And that's how you pause an analog clock. Basic rules to keep in mind. If you're black and let's say your opponent brings a clock and wants to use it, you still get to pick what side of the clock the clock goes on. The reason why that matters is because if you're right-handed, you probably want the clock on the right side of the board. The reason being, you have to hit the clock with the same hand that you move your piece. So what you can't do, for example, is you can't move a piece and then hit it like that. And when you're getting down to just a few seconds, that can be crucial. So you've got to hit the clock and push it. Now, if my opponent chooses the other side of the board, let's say they were black and I was white, for example, they choose that side of the board, or maybe they're left-handed or whatever else. When I take a piece, I've got to reach all the way across. Not that big a deal, but it's more comfortable usually to have it on the same side of the board that you move your pieces with. So that's all we've got for chess clocks. I'll have mine available if you guys want to use it at the chess tournament, and we'll look forward to